You know, there's a lot of heavy things that happen in China, but I think one of the other biggest memories that I had was when Jim ate a scorpion. The highest moment and one of the most creepy moments.
They literally had live scorpions on sticks, and then they would literally fry it in front of you.
That's how to do it.
Don't do it!
Nope.
And he's like, sure. And he just ate it. So then I asked him afterwards, I was like, you ever ate a scorpion before? He's like, no, I'm not really. He's like,
Hey guys, it's Katie from Without a Crystal Ball. Welcome back to my channel. It is Tuesday, September 21st, and it's been a busy day as we are waiting on more information about Gabby Petito, which I will go live as soon as I have more information to share. I did post a video earlier where I went through the audio of the 911 call along with some information from, or the video from the body cam of their stop on August 12th. For this video, we're going to talk about the Duggars because they went on vacation. So naturally, when you're in the middle of a huge thing dealing with your son, the best thing to do sometimes to forget about your troubles is to travel. Yes, in September. So the Duggars, who have not been frequently posting on their Instagram, have decided that they are going to go on a road trip with their kids. And they took their 6 younger kids, and Josh and Anna's children were not with them, making me wonder who's watching Anna's kids. Is Anna actually with her kids? And when is Anna due with her baby? So many questions. On Instagram, the Duggars said this: "One of the things I love most is making memories with our kids. We are on a family trip with our 6 youngest, visiting some historic locations across the United States and learning a lot on the way. We try to plan big field trips that will coincide with our studies, and it's a lot of fun for everyone. This week we stopped in the Black Hills of South Dakota to see the 60-foot tall faces of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln at Mount Rushmore, and would have been in some of your favorite fun and educational locations to visit." And then it has a photo of all of the girls. So they took Johanna, Jordan, Jennifer, Josie, Jackson, and Tyler. So one thing I've noticed is that Jennifer is taller than the rest of her sisters. She's getting taller there. And Michelle, she's taller than her mom even too. So they're out on the road taking a trip, and the comments were of people just generally sharing what it is that they're, other places that they enjoy going to. The kids look like they're doing well. There was a photo that Johanna took of them, which was Johanna, Jennifer, and Jordan. And then there was another photo of the world's only corn palace in South Dakota stay and play. So they are traveling in South Dakota, which is, I think, the Mount Rushmore. They might be going to the Badlands. I think there's some other historic locations that they could be visiting as well. Now, there has been a lot of questions that have come up about a individual that potentially was living with Josh and Anna at a point in time when all of this raid happened. And I am going to just address this extremely cautiously because, one, I don't want to bring any more. I've really shied away from this topic, and I simply am just going to say this. There was a point in time where Josh and Anna had someone that was staying at their house that was a mother's helper. This individual was shown in photographs around the time of 2019. Not long after the raid happened in 2019, this individual left staying with Josh and Anna. Josh and Anna then removed photos of this person from their Instagram. Now, because I don't know any information about this person, and this person happens to be a minor child, I prefer not to discuss anything related to it because there's nothing that I know or can share. And I feel like speculating on why this child was there and why they left would help no one, and it certainly does not help the child. So as far as I can say is, yes, there was someone there. No, they're not there. It could have just been that they were hanging out for a couple months, and once everything was all said and done, they went back and stayed with mom and dad. Who knows? hard to say. So that was in relation to a video that was published by another channel, and I keep getting so many messages about it. So I just felt like we should address it here. When it comes to reporting on children and when it comes to really serious allegations like CSA, there's specific guidelines that I try to follow, and one is that I don't try to attach any specific crimes to a child unless, one, it's been reported, and two, it's factual. There's nothing factual to report here, and two, I don't want to attach this to the child. So for that and that alone, I have no information, and I don't believe it to be true. And I don't believe speculating is helpful. So anyways, while we get back to this means that Josh and Anna are back in Arkansas by themselves, and Anna must be with the kids because the Duggars have been taking care of Anna's kids primarily, and Anna is also very pregnant. She announced her pregnancy on the end of April, and if she was around 14 weeks, this means that she would be due generally in the beginning of October, if not sooner. Now, when we saw her pregnancy announcement, a lot of us thought that she might have been pregnant in the fall or even as late as the winter, because she started to look like she was hiding something even around Christmas time. So I don't necessarily know. I think if she would have announced at the end of April, she would have gotten pregnant in sometime in January, meaning that she would be due then in October. One would think. Because when she made the announcement, she also announced the gender, and the very earliest you can find out the gender of your child, generally through an ultrasound or even through a blood test, is around 14 weeks. I don't know if she was able to get one that at 12 weeks. And then generally most gender ultrasounds are done at 20 weeks, which is your 5-month anatomy. They do the scan where they check all different aspects of the baby, measurements to verify if there's any abnormalities with the growth, and they can check various chromosome disorders, like if there's added chromosomes or missing chromosomes. So there's a lot of things that happen at that 20-week anatomy scan. So I don't know if she was 20 weeks or 14 weeks. So her due date is very all over the place. If she was 20 weeks at that time, she would feasibly at this point in time be with a baby. The baby would be here already. And we haven't heard anything about the baby. And honestly, I don't know if they'll even announce it. Part of me thinks that with everything that's going on, they might keep the baby's birth a secret. And then another question a lot of you guys have had is, once Anna has the baby, will she be able to stay with Josh? And the answer is no. Once she has the baby and she's with the baby all the time, and she can't stay overnight with a child with Josh. It's prohibited as a part of his bond requirements. So he can visit his kids at any time. He can see them as much as he wants. As long as Anna is there or there is supervision, he can see his kids, but he can't live with them. So once Anna has the baby and she's nursing and she's spending the night with the baby, she's going to have to go home because she can't stay with Josh. And I don't know if they could have her living in like an RV outside or if she could camp. I don't know. I mean, I would want to hope that she would go back to a place where she's warm, the baby's in a house. I would hope that's what she does. And I would hope that the family does a lot to help her. It'll be tough when she does have the baby, because when she has the baby, she's going to have a lot to take in, a lot of newborn time. Newborns are very demanding, not to mention she already has Mariella, who's only a year old, almost 2. She's got Mason, who's like 3 or 4. She's got a lot of little ones and a lot to take care of. And I hope that once the baby comes, she can focus her time and energy on the kids and not so much on Joshua. The court motions are due at the end of this week. He got a 7-day extension, so they will be responding to all of the various responses that the government made. So at this point in time, there's nothing new to report on the court case. The Duggars have taken off and are spending time on vacation. And, you know, as much as I dislike Jim Bob Duggar and Michelle, I think this is probably a good thing for the kids. The kids have been under a lot of stress, and I feel so bad for them going through all of this. And so for Jim Bob and Michelle to be able to take them on a trip and maybe give them some sense of normalcy and give some one-on-one time with mom and dad and be able to sort of get out of the stress that's around them, I think is super good. I think the kids need to have those kinds of distractions. I think the kids need to have some sense of normalcy in the chaos that's become their lives. So I do hope that the family has a really good time on this trip. As soon as I hear more about whether or not Anna has given birth, I'll let you know. And she is expecting a baby girl. And then in terms of court records, responses to the government are due on Friday, and then there will be a hearing, I think, on October 4th, where they're going to go through all of the different motions by the government, and they'll decide whether or not they're going to dismiss any evidence, dismiss the case, and then at that point they'll have to move forward, and Josh will have to make a decision on whether or not he's going to go forward with trial or if he's going to take a plea. If he goes to trial and he doesn't plead here, he could get up to 25 years, and he's a dad, and as much as I hate him, is him going away for 10 years versus 25 years better for his kids? I don't know. I kind of feel like going away for 25 years would be best for everyone, but that's just me. So part of me is like, don't take the plea deal, go all the way, get convicted, let the hammer drop. All right, you guys, so what are your thoughts about the Duggars' trip? Are you annoyed, or do you think it's good? And then what do you think about when is Anna's baby due and all the other stuff? Tell me in the comments below. Bye, guys.